Hey everyone, Mucklick here. It is July 2nd, 2021, and ArenaNet just posted a new blog post with some massive announcements. So we are going to go through that right now. ArenaNet Studio Update, July 2021. Hi everyone, I am Ruby Bear, and you may already know me as the host of Guild Chat and other Guild Wars 2 livestream. That's the most visible part of what I do, but as a member of the community team, I swap job attunements regularly behind the scenes. The rest of the community team and I have been working with the development team to improve our ongoing communication with all of you. I like that already. Your reactions to the Guild Wars 2 Live Summer 2021 blog post, weekly event schedules, and skill and balance previews confirm that we're on the right track. Continuing that trend, we have some important updates to share with you today. Here's JT to get us started. A brief preamble. Hey everybody, please allow me to introduce myself. I'm JT and I lead the Guild Wars franchise and ArenaNet. I've been a director at the studio for a little over 6 years. ArenaNet is different. It's unlike any place I've ever been a part of. I'm honored to be a part of this game, team, and community. When I stepped into this role, I thought a lot about what we've done well and what we still needed to do. That retrospection took me back to the studio's earliest days. ArenaNet was founded with the goal of pursuing innovation by focusing on solving player problems first. Guild Wars and Guild Wars 2 are direct results of this pursuit. It's essential that this player-first approach is at the heart of everything we do going forward. Really quick background on JT. He, as it said a minute ago, he has been the director for 6 years. He took over as both game director and CEO. He is not often in the spotlight. We rarely hear from him directly. Today we'll be sharing some important updates about our upcoming expansion, Guild Wars 2 End of Dragons, the live game, and some changes we're making to realign ourselves with the ideals that shaped the Guild Wars franchise from the very beginning. I believe that the best is yet to come for Guild Wars 2. And I see what appears to be a silhouette of perhaps a mesmer with a spear? Maybe? They can already use swords, and there's flying swords, and daggers are held backwards. That looks like a spear. New weapon type? Maybe? Guild Wars 2 End of Dragons. As expansion development has progressed and the real-world challenges of the past year and a half have changed the way we live and work, it's become clear that we need a little more time to deliver our creative vision for Cantha. As a result, we're delaying the release of Guild Wars 2 End of Dragons from late 2021 to early 2022. Okay? Sad to hear it, but you know what? If we've learned anything from all recent games recently, release it when it's finished, when it's ready. We appreciate your patience as we take the time to give the expansion the attention it deserves. I'm incredibly proud of the work the team is going to bring Cantha to life, and we can't wait for you to see and experience it for yourselves. Don't forget to tune in on July 27th for the Guild Wars 2 End of Dragons First Look live stream. A familiar face returns. A large part of my job is planning for the future. We have some big plans in store for Guild Wars 2, and ambitious plans require ambitious leaders. I knew I needed a partner to help share the load in order for us to achieve our long-term goals and deliver the game experiences you deserve. I needed someone who intimately understood the franchise and, most importantly, our players. With that, I'm thrilled to announce that former Guild Wars 2 game director Colin has returned to ArenaNet to help co-lead the studio with me. All aboard. Take it away, Colin. Really quickly, I believe Colin was the quest builder in Guild Wars 1. He was a game designer and I believe lead designer in Guild Wars 1. He was the director in Guild Wars 2. He left after, I believe, Late Heart of Thorns, and he did some of the pre-production for Path of Fire. Choo choo! Hello Guild Wars community, Colin here. I'm incredibly excited to be returning to ArenaNet. When I decided to leave the studio in 2016, it was one of the hardest decisions I've made in my career. I spent over 11 years working on the Guild Wars franchise as a game designer and game director. One of the first projects I ever worked on at ArenaNet was building a quest where you helped a little girl named Gwen find her lost flute, and the last project was leading the team through pre-production of the Guild Wars 2 Path of Fire expansion. Guild Wars, this community, and the team at ArenaNet hold a deep place in my heart, and returning feels like coming home for me. When JT reached out about the opportunity to help lead the studio with him, we spent a lot of time talking Guild Wars, its future, and our interest in driving a renewed focus on our players. Bringing the player perspective into our development process is a huge part of what made Guild Wars a successful franchise from the beginning. Before we launched Guild Wars and Guild Wars 2, we opened up to the public testing to gather your feedback and made improvements. After they went live, we evaluated your feedback and your actions in the game, and we used that data to make a better experience for our community. We wanted to keep improving in this area in the future. Talking is the easy part. It's what you do that matters. So let's talk about a concrete step we're taking to improve on this front. So I want to pause there for a second. He's very right. Words are great. Actions speak a whole lot louder. And I love Guild Wars 2 as much as many of you do, but they've dropped the ball a few times in the past, you know? And you know, when there's that little tear of uncertainty, you start to doubt everything that is said until you see it happen. Guild Wars 2 is big and complex with a lot of unique game experiences, including Living World, World versus World, Player versus Player, Endgame PvE, and more. Traditionally, the game director has had their attention split between overseeing the development of the live game and expansions. To ensure the live game is getting the attention it deserves, JT and I have created a new role that's focused on leading development strategy for the live game and ensure that we're giving you a consistent quality experience. We felt that it was important that we found someone for the role who knew the franchise in and out and is a tireless advocate for players. I'm pleased to announce that Josh Davis, aka Grouch, has rejoined the team as the head of live operations. So real quick pause there. Joshua Davis was before my time playing the game. He was primarily involved in the structured PvP side of Guild Wars 2. He administrated PvP tournaments and often co-casted the live streams of the tournaments on the official GW2 Twitch channel and hosted the PvP-oriented bi-weekly live stream show Ready Up. Even before joining ANET, he was a major part of the GW2 PvP community, hosting, oh, that's right, he used to be one of the content creators before he started to work there. Do it live. Hi, Josh Grouch Davis reporting for duty. Bridging the gap between players and developers is a passion of mine, and it's part of why and how I got into the industry to begin with. When JT and Colin asked me if I'd be interested in rejoining the studio to help recenter our development efforts on players, I couldn't possibly say no. I'm stoked to partner with such a talented team of developers to write the next chapter in Guild Wars 2's story. It's been an eventful couple of months for the live team, starting with the summer 2021 live blog post we published back in April. It's a little nerve-wracking to publish detailed release dates that far in advance. Game development can be a little unpredictable at times, but in general, I believe that benefits outweigh the risk, and we intend to push for this level of communication as much as we can going forward. It's new territory for ArenaNet, but we're excited about this direction. In addition to Living World Returns, that roadmap announced some major additions coming to the game this summer, namely the Twisted Marionette and the Legendary Armory. We prioritize these features because we know they're important to you. You've told us as much. With that in mind, we'd like to give 2 more long-awaited updates that we know are important to many of you. Alliances win! I was literally about to pause and be like, yeah, another one that, we've said was important to us was alliances. Okay, alright, wow. If any of you aren't familiar with this, what are alliances? This was something that they posted on the forums they were working on like 3 years ago, and then complete radio silence. So, like, anytime they say they're going to do something, most people, a lot of, the jaded veterans are like, yeah, when you get alliances done, stuff like that. There was even a time period where Balance Patch was way over too, and the meme merged and it became Balliances. Oh boy, this should be good. But yeah, this is supposed to be a new way of restructuring world versus world queuing instead of just server versus server. Alliances win this year. World restructuring, also known as alliances, is a feature that aims to deliver a more balanced world versus world experience by dynamically creating matchups using World v World designated guilds, alliances, which is a player-made collection of guilds, and active World v World players as the inputs. This is in comparison to the current system that relies on worlds and world linking. The system will give us more flexibility and granularity with creating new matches and help address natural fluctuations in population over time. It'll also give players more agency in choosing who they want to play with on an ongoing basis. That's very exciting. You might no longer be forced to only play with people on your server or versus people on specific servers. World restructuring is a big change to World v World, and we want to get it right. We've read a lot of your feedback on the system. thousands of posts over the years. It's clear that there isn't total consensus on how the feature should work, and that's okay. It's a big fundamental change to how the mode works, and that can be daunting. In the past, we've sometimes made the mistake of releasing the final version of a feature and finding that it didn't quite meet your expectations, meaning that we wasted time and resources. To avoid this, we're going to do things a little differently this time around to make sure that your voice can help inform the development of world restructuring. World restructuring features will be released in a multi-phase beta. What this means is that we'll release a part of the world restructuring system, test it with you live in the game, gather your feedback, and then iterate on it in a future release. As someone who has been in quality assurance before, that is both exciting and terrifying. The feature components will be functional but not fully polished, meaning we can more easily react to your feedback without having to rewrite a bunch of code. Once we've worked with you to lock down the design and implementation, we'll polish it up and take it out of beta. We'll be back in August to share an overview of how world restructuring works and the timing of the first live beta events. Our communication regarding this feature over the last few years missed the mark. How kind of you to realize that. In the past, development priorities shifted away from World v. World, and ultimately both World Restructuring and our players suffered as a result. Our new leadership team views World v. World as a cornerstone mode of Guild Wars 2, and it will be a focus of ours going forward. Client performance optimization. We've heard you loud and clear. GW2 needs better frame rates, we agree. We're actively working on upgrading our engine to Dx11! Yes! And we expect to be able to roll it out in an opt-in beta later this year. An important note is that the upgraded Dx11 itself isn't a magical fix for frame rates on its own. No, but it's a step in the right direction. Some players may not notice a difference at all. This is true. When I used the unofficial plugin, which I have a guide for, to make my system use DirectX 12 instead of 9, it was an improvement, but it was a minor one on my system. But I've had other people tell me it was just absolutely game-changing for them. It depends on your system. Some players may not notice a difference at all. However, upgrading to Dx11 opens a lot of doors for improving performance. CPU multi-threading, for instance. It also paves the way for some potential graphics upgrades down the road. We're investing in our infrastructure, engine, and graphics because we're looking to the future. This is a long-term effort. Until next time. And there's pictures of all of them waving. We're very excited for the rest of 2021, and we can't wait to celebrate with you on July 27th during the Guild Wars 2 End of Dragon's First Look live stream. We've got a new trailer, feature reveals and information, news about Elite Specialization beta events, and details about the story, character art, event design, and more. We want to make sure you have many secrets to discover when you visit Cantha yourself, so while we won't be spoiling things, we still have lots to share between now and then. We've planned more Guild Wars 2 End of Dragons live streams through the rest of 2021, and they'll each bring you more news about the expansion. Our community is the lifeblood of all we do. Thank you for being a part of it. Ruby, JT, Colin, Josh, and the ArenaNet team. What is this? What is this? Oh boy, hold on a second. Let me change my frame here so you guys can see the whole thing. All right, so what we've got here is an image at the end of the blog post, which looks like a screenshot from Cantha. Oh boy. This looks like a screenshot from Cantha. Like, it's been a very long time since I played Factions, but yeah. That is awesome. So. Woo! Oh! I gotta decide what the thumbnail's gonna be. You guys already know. You're watching this in the future. I don't know if it's gonna be this or if it's gonna be that Mesmer. Exciting time. So we've got multiple veterans, multiple veteran people that made the game. Oh man, I even glossed over this one. We've got this one too. Look at that. This is more artwork. The bottom picture, so this looks like a painting, and this picture down here looks like a screenshot. I think this might be a screenshot in game. But we've got multiple people that help build Guild Wars 2 to the heights that it is right now, coming back to the game that we're not working on the game anymore. That has a lot of potential. That has a lot of potential. DirectX 11 is huge. Alliances, them finally fulfilling I think it's like possibly the longest unfulfilled promise, is massive, and it's apparently this year. And then they're, they said they're going to try to make a more consistent effort in many different game aspects, optimization, world versus world, balance across all game modes, communication, and yeah. This is big. This could be really big. But yeah, I'm going to tie it off there. If you've got any questions, problems, thoughts, concerns, comments, anything about anything I said, please put it in that comments down below. Share your thoughts. And it's very exciting, very exciting. My theory on this is that this is a Mesmer. She's got a spear in her hand and she's firing some kind of sword projections of some sort. Yeah, well, what do you think? What do you think this is? That's your news for July 2nd, 2021, and I'll see you next time.